Hello, good day. My name is Edwin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys how optometrists can come live and work here in Australia. I know some of you guys, optometrists in Nigeria, in Africa, you've sent message to me, Eddie. Can you make a video for optometry? So this video is for optometrists. It's going to be a long one. So I'm going to tell you guys step-by-step process on how you can come to Australia to live and work as an optometrist. Please take all the information I'm going to provide you in this video as a general advice. If you need services of a migration lawyer, it's advisable for you to find a reliable person in your country. So I will go to my PC and I will show you the process on how you can, do your skills assessment, get a job in Australia to come and live here in Australia and work in your field as an optometrist. Thank you. To show you videos on how optometrists, especially those from Nigeria or the other African countries, can migrate to Australia. So usually what I do is to bring you to the skill occupation list, and then you type optometrist, and then you hit search. So you can see that optometrist is in the skill occupation list in Australia, and then this is the answer score code. Australia optometrists can apply for 189, 190. Yeah, lots of visa options for optometrist, and the optometrist is in this medium and long-term skill occupation list. The assessing authority for optometrists is OCANZ. Yes, so like I said, the assessing body just to assess your document to compare. Sometimes you have to sit for examination. So what we need to do is just to go to this website to get more information on how optometrists can do, get their skills assessment to come to Australia. So I'm going to the website. Let's see what they have for you guys. So come here. I'll hit oversee optometrist. Yes. So we go to this icon here. So we go to examination. Yes, I'll be coming down here. So everything you see about the application forms. So I have to state here that the first thing you need to do is just to do eligibility check to see that you can sit for the examination. Those of you guys from Nigeria, especially those that finished from University of Benin, Abia State University, and the Imo State University, you are eligible to, apply for this eligibility check. And if you hit here, application forms, you are going to fill form 2 because Nigeria is under Appendix B, and the three universities I mentioned are yes. So I'm going to go back again to this place. So if you hit here, you get everything about the examination fee. I must say that this process is capital intensive. So if you have the money, you have the skills, you've been practicing as optometrist, you have a degree, and the University of Benin does Doctor of Optometry, the same as Imo State University and Abia State University. So you're going to fill form 2, and that's going to cost you around 868 Australian dollars. You're going to sit for written exam, both papers. It's going to cost you 3,534 Australian dollars. This written exam you can do it in your home country. It's going to be online exam. The clinical exam, the skill exam is going to be it's going to cost you 63 Australian dollars, and the patient exam is going to be 4,722. There is cultural safety training that you can do in your home country. It's online exam, and that will cost you $291. So for the written exam, like I said, you can do it online in your home country. The clinical exams, you have to come to Australia to get the clinical exams done. And for you to get like a positive skills assessment as an optometrist here in Australia, you need to successfully pass the written and the clinical exam. So it's a long process, guys. But if you have the money, like I said, it's capital intensive. If you have the money, you have the knowledge, the skills to embark on this. Yeah, I will ask you to go for the process. Optometrist is in the skill occupation list, so you guys are highly sorted here in Australia, and the salary for optometrists here is really high. It's something to write home about. So I will say that if you have the money and the time, the energy, the resources to do this, this is something to look into. So that is about the examination fee. Then if we come here and hit competency in optometry exam, let's go down this page. Or hit assessments for optometrists with overseas qualifications. Here with this PDF will give you all the information you need. as partake, you know, yeah. So like here, do you hold a qualification in optometry from overseas? If you say yes, so you have to complete and submit form two. So just initial eligibility check. And I've shown you guys the course. So this is going to take around 4 weeks for them to say, oh, you are eligible to sit for the examination. Then if you're deemed eligible, you have to sit for the competency examination. Yeah. And then, so that is the pathway. If you read this, it's going to tell you everything you need to know about the pathway. Like I said, the written exam you can do in your home country, the cultural safety exam you can do, but a clinical exam which has 2 stages, you have to come to Australia to sit for that examination. But there is something important you have to know here is if you pass the written exam, you can, I'm going to take you to the next stage. You can apply for what is called limited registration with APRA, provided you're able to get like a job for optometrists here in Australia. If you're able to get someone that will sponsor you after you pass the written examination, you can apply for limited registration with APRA. So APRA is like the health body that regulates the activities of health practitioners here in Australia. So if we go to the APRA page, there is this one is for basically for optometrists. So if you come here, just hit registration for optometrists. You come here and then you see I have international qualification. So it tells you persons holding a qualification in optometry from outside Australia. If we come down here, it tells you everything you need to do. So I'm talking about limited registration for the purposes of supervised practice. So if you've passed only the written component of the examination and want to practice under supervision before completing a clinical comment, you may optionally apply for limited registration. So guys, so what I encourage here is if you want to embark on this process, make sure you have the money, the resources, and everything you need to do. And this body is even going to send you like a sample questions for you to see what sort of question you're going to expect. So if you pass the written examination, which you can do in your home country, you don't need to come to Australia. You can apply for limited registration with APRA. If you are able to get a job, like you have to get a supervisor that supervises you, to undergo training. That way you're able to have Australian experience that will help you to, embark on the stage two examination, which is clinical examination. So if you pass this, all you need to do is to go to sick.com, go to Indeed, and then look for jobs for optometrists. If you're able to get one and they're happy to sponsor you, you come here on a sponsored visa and then you embark on the examination. If you don't want to go through that pathway or it's difficult, you can also, after you pass the written exam, you can apply for like a visitor's visa. Come here. The purpose is for you to proceed for the examination. You pass the examination, that way, if you pass a clinical examination, you get positive skills assessment from this body that does skills assessment for you guys. If you get positive skills assessment, fantastic. You can use that to apply for skill migration visas like 189. You guys are eligible for all the visas. 190. If your employer is happy to sponsor you, you can go for 186. How does that sound? So it's a whole lot for optometrists, guys. So if I were you, I'll key into this. Like I said, it's capital intensive. There are a lot of options, a lot of pathways for you guys. So that is it. So if you come to this stage, yes. So if we go back here, you've gotten your positive skills assessment. The next thing you want to do is to do what I usually tell people. You come here. So guys, if you've gotten your positive skills assessment as optometrist. Remember, I said for you to get your positive skills assessment as optometrist, you need to pass the written and the clinical exam. The clinical exam, you have to sit in your country. You can do it in Nigeria or whichever country you're coming from. The clinical exam, you have to come to Australia to sit for the exam. And then remember, I did mention that if you have passed the clinical exam, you can start looking for jobs. You can see an employer who is happy to sponsor you to come here and have like a supervised practice. That way, you're able to have the Australian experience. Then you're already in the country. You can sit for your working. You can sit for your clinical examination. If you're not able to get an employer and you have the money, you can apply for maybe like a visitor's visa, come here, do the clinical examination. If you pass, you're going to get your skill, you're going to get your positive skills assessment. If you get your positive skills assessment, you have to come to this page. It's called Skills Select Australia. You hit expression of interest, and then just like every other person, you want to create what is called EUI. If we come to this place, it tells you everything you need to do. in terms of you doing expression of interest as far as Australian visa is concerned. So it's a point-based immigration program where you enter your details. Basically, you're entering your age, work experience, academic qualification, English language proficiency. Sorry, I forgot to mention that you need English language test. It has to be proficient. If you are doing like limited registration with APRA, you don't really need it when you're doing the written examination. But when it comes to you doing registration with APRA, definitely you need English language test. So if you come to this place and hit submit EUI, because you're logging in for the first time, it's going to ask you for your email address and password. So when you get to that stage, it will ask you things about your age, work qualification, um, academic qualification, work experience, academic qualification, and the rest. At the end of the day, if you've done this, it's going to give you a point, and that is what you're going to use to enter a pool. So you guys are eligible for 189. You can also apply for 190 visa. How interesting that is, guys. So this is for optometrists. So at the end of the day, if you're invited by the states or the federal government, then you have to lodge your visa and then come to Australia to work in your occupation as optometrist. Like I said, optometrists, you guys are highly needed here. The only thing is just that the pathway is kind of a bit too intensive and it's also time consuming. But I think it's basically the same for every other person, like other healthcare professionals, pharmacists, medical doctors who are coming here to Australia to practice in their occupation. So guys, if you're optometrist, if you have one who is in Nigeria, I know people in Nigeria have emailed me, mentioned to me that you talk about this. So this video is highly sorted. Please get it to your friend who's an optometrist, someone who's aspiring to be an optometrist in Africa, in UK, in US, who is planning to come to Australia to practice in your profession. This video is going to help you. If you have any question about this, I'm going to see how I can assist, give you the resources. I have to mention in the end of my video, I'm not a migration lawyer. Please, all the information I've provided should be used as general advice. And the links, everything here is verifiable. You can do it yourself. And then I hope I see you in Australia. The next video showing here is for those who are medical lab scientists, technicians who want to come to Australia to live and work in their occupation. So this video is going to help you to, get to Australia. And again, what I usually do towards the end of my video is I go to previous invitation rounds for optometrists. So I'll come down to this page. If you come down to this page and you hit November 2024, that is not the latest, but I'll just go with this one. And let's see, this is for the federal sponsored visa, like visa 189. So we come down here and see optometrists. We have optometrists here. Let's see. We'll keep coming down. This is we keep coming down. We need to go up a bit. Yeah, fantastic. So we have optometrists invited at 75 point. That is very interesting, guys. So you guys are qualified for 189 federal sponsor visa, 190, 491. You can name any visa as far as Australia is concerned, but the only thing you need to pass the examination. So if you like this video, leave it thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that next time when I will use a video, you're notified. I'm gonna see you in my next video, guys. Until then, do have a nice day. Bye bye. It's Edwin.